Hello, I'm Amethyst Moonflower, and I just wanted to show you all my altar space that I have created here in my sanctuary. That's what I call my sacred space. I call it the sanctuary. And today is the night before Lammas, and so I spent the afternoon and into the evening creating my altar for Lammas. I just completed it not too long ago, and so I just wanted to share it with you and kind of take you around my altar here and let you see what I got going on. And I really like, because see, all the ivy that I have it draped up over my speaker because I have a speaker up there. And I got this ivy out of the woods that are behind my house, and the whole trees and the ground and everything is just covered in this beautiful English ivy. And I just harvested just 2 vines, and the 2 vines was plenty to go around. And I also collected some of this Queen Anne's lace flower that it's been bloomed most of the summer, and it's dying off. A lot of the flowers around in the wild, are switching over from the summer to fall flowers, and so I got a little bit of the last of the summer here with the Queen Anne's lace, and I always liked Queen Anne's lace. I think it's so pretty. And I have down here, we'll start, I have my Spellcaster's Tarot with this really pretty amethyst stone that I have setting on top of it, charging my deck that I'm going to be doing a reading with here later. And I also have this really pretty clear quartz point that I've had for a few years, and I like the energy of it. And it's got another little baby one attached to it, and I like it because it lays nice and flat. And I have my singing bowl and my clear crystal single torminated wand that I love using for healing and directing energies and charging my crystal grid that I have here. Is more simple than what I normally do, but I wanted to keep it simple this time. I didn't want the crystal grid to take over my whole table like it normally does. So I just have my little opal light pyramid in the center, surrounded by my chakra stones that I use, because that's something that I've been working on, as well as getting my chakras cleared and aligned and balanced and stuff. So that's a personal focus for me. And my wand here, I actually made this wand about 3 years ago, and I love this wand. I carved it out of a dowel rod stick that I had found, and carved sun, moon, and star, and this little knot-like type design on it, and a spiral all the way up to the top. And I have a clear crystal point at the top and a amethyst point at the bottom. And so that's my main practicing craft wand. I mean, I got other wands that are crystal wands, but this is like my craft wand that I like to use. And I also have my oh, if it'll focus, my celestite cluster here that my husband bought me for Mother's Day a couple of years ago, and my selenite tower also charging here. And this is my Brightest Blessings essential oil blend that I created for myself. And oh my gosh, it smells so good, you guys, so good. And this is my chalice and my little fairy friend. I got 2 of them, actually. I got a pink one over here, and I got a green one over here. I love my fairy friends. I know it's not really a big fairy oriented Sabbat, but they just wanted to be in it, and I agreed with them. So, and I have my cauldron here, which is really like a makeshift setup, but it works really, really well because it allows me to make potions or brews right here at my altar table with no electricity. I don't need the stove, and it actually works really well with a nice votive, because this is an oil burner stand. Sorry, moving camera. This is an oil burner stand that I had, and the glass on the top broke. But right around the same time that happened, I found this copper pot cauldron with this little handle. It doesn't have a lid, but it's solid copper pot. And I found it at a thrift store. And with a votive candle, if you know it's nice and fresh, the flame gets close enough to it that it actually heats the copper up to a good temperature. And I actually have a Lammas brew going on in here right now that I just did, and it's got a few different herbs in here that I spelled, and so I'm creating that brew. And these are my candle set. I also found these two little guys at a charity store, thrift store, a few years ago, and they've been on my altar on and off ever since. I mean, come on. Moon, sun, yes. And then I have this yellow pillar candle on top of this plate that I also found at a thrift store. It's just like a sunflower plate. I love using it for harvest things. And over here is my goddess statue with a rose quartz sphere that I just picked up recently, like about a month or so ago, and it fits perfectly right in her arms. I love it. And then my Christian cross, because you know I'm an eclectic witch. I mean, I practice mainly Wicca, but I come from a Christian background, and you know, I never really let go completely of those beliefs. I feel like they are still a part of me, and there's lessons there that I still learn from, and I still honor, you know, Jesus and the God, and you know, I've just learned to incorporate the Christian belief aspects into my craft, and you know, that's just my own personal way. I also have incorporated other, you know, belief systems into my craft. That's why I'm very eclectic, but it works for me. And so yeah, I got that. And then I also have this candle holder that I picked up last year right after Christmas for like literally $3. And it's solid metal, which is also really nice, but it makes me think of the horned god. So I have the moon goddess and the horned god, and it works out really well. And I like it too because since it's a candle holder and the god, the fire is more of a masculine element, and the goddess statue holds a crystal, which is more of like a feminine element. So I really like how that energy works. And then over here I have my little chest drawers that my husband actually got me for Christmas last year. And I really love it. I like keeping little thingies in there, like other crystals and stuff. And I mean, it's not too big, but I really love it. It looks so pretty. And I got it over there holding some stuff. And this is my staff that I also made. I've been working on this on and off for quite a few years now, but it has changed, but I really love it. It's looking really nice. And that stone right there is actually my birthstone, aquamarine, so that my best friend gave me, and I've imbued that into it. And I also have another clear crystal point on top of it with all my charms and my golden cord. And then I also have in the background this painting that you see, this big painting that takes up like a lot of the view. And I get asked a lot, you know, where I found it. And really, I made it. I painted it myself a few years ago. Took me a long time. And, you know, it started out as an oil painting. But I never really had a whole lot of experience using oil painting before, oil paint, and it just took forever to dry. No one told me this, but oil paint takes literally forever to dry. And I don't have the patience and the time to be waiting around for oil paint to take a lifetime to dry, and I don't have a lot of the technical art skills to deal with oil paint, and I've always been an acrylic artist, so, you know, I ended up going over the whole thing and finishing it off in acrylic because I just wanted it done. I didn't want to take 5 years for one painting. I don't have time for that. I'm not Michelangelo. But it looks really good, and it's actually a sundial calendar that I kind of came up with that I think is really neat. Each little line, it marks a day in the year. So there is actually 365 little markings for a day, and the blue markings are a week, and the purple markings represent each moon, 13 moons, and then you have the 12 zodiac signs, and then you have the 8 Sabbats, and then you have the 5 elements, and then the center is the symbol of 3, which, you know, incorporates a lot into my beliefs. And I have the four main phases of the moon going around that outside perimeter of it, and I really love it. I think it turned out really nice, and I enjoy it a lot. And moving on here, I also have like a geo on there and some dried flowers. I can't remember what kind of flowers they were, but I see them around here and I really like them, and I picked them a couple months ago. They're dried out really nicely. And I also have, oh sorry, my phone keeps freezing on me. I have my pentacle here. I don't use it a whole lot, only during like if I do like big circle ceremony type things, but I was going to be doing a Lammas ceremony by myself either tonight or tomorrow night, so I do have that out. My water container and my salt container with this is my blessed moon elixir water that is blessed under the full moon, not the blood moon, the moon before that. And I had my crystals charging in it, and I have kept it out of the sun, and it's so blessed and wonderful, so I got that in there. My salt, and then my salt candle, and then I have my Archangel Michael candle here, and my husband's name is also Michael. So that's really nice. I like his energies. They're very protective, very fiery. And then I have my Babylonian shell incense holder here. And, oh, it looks like my charcoal might have gone out. And my Palo Santo and my amethyst crystal, which I have had for such a long time. And this incense blend is also another blend that I made up. My Brightest Blessings incense blend is a corresponding blend that goes with my oil over here. It's one of my favorite scents and energies that I like to work with. And this little guy is another crystal cluster. My daughter actually found this outside, and I'm not really sure. It's some kind of smoky cluster, like a smoky druzy quartz or something like that. And I don't know, I love the energies of it. It's so purifying but grounding and protective at the same time. And this is my feather wafter incense smoke thing that I made myself. And I just got like dyed chicken feathers and then like this big hawk feather or some kind of feather that was found. And I got, a stone. Can't remember what kind of stone it was that I used. But I glued that on there. And I love it. It works out really well. And then here's my athame, which I've also had for a couple of years now. It has the goddess on it. I bought this one online. I haven't really bought a whole lot of my stuff online. I bought these online, but I don't really do a whole lot of online shopping for my stuff. But the athame is one of those items that I did purchase while I was online when I first started my practice. And I really love it. And it's the only one that I've ever had, and it's probably the only one that I'm ever going to need. And that's really nice because, you know, this thing's actually kind of big. I mean, I probably could have went with a smaller one. I mean, this thing is pretty hefty, but, you know, it's there, and I love it, and I only use it during, like, similar to the pentacle. I only use these items when I'm going to be casting, like, a big ceremony type circle. I mean, it's not going to be, like, humongous or anything, but when I want to be a little bit more, formal, I suppose you can say, when I actually want to go through the entire process and do everything the way that, you know, I want to do it, and not just something simple. You know, I've been kind of feeling like it's time for me to dedicate myself to my spiritual path, and because my spiritual path has changed a lot over the last few years. I mean, I started out dedicating myself and initiating myself as purely Wiccan, and I'm still pretty Wiccan, but I'm not as Wiccan as I used to be. I have ventured off into other paths and have collected new ways of thinking and new systems of belief, and I just really like feeling like there's more options than just one way, and doing things the way that feels right to me. And that's the way everybody should do it. So, but I hope you all enjoyed my space. It's so pretty. I've just been sitting here meditating and really just enjoying the space. It's so juicy right now. And I hope you all have a wonderful Lammas, and I hope you all have a wonderful day or night, if wherever it is that you are around the world. And talk to you later. I'll probably come and show you another altar space. I actually have an entire room dedicated to my craft, and that's why I call it the sanctuary, because it's more than just an altar. But it's kind of a crazy mess right now, and I don't really feel like sharing it until it's kind of in a little bit more of a cleaner state. Because, you know, if I'm going to go through and show everybody my entire room, then I kind of want it to be in a little bit more orderly fashion and, you know, presented in a better way. Because I'll tell you what, people don't realize, well, a lot of people do when they are practicing, but when you're not practicing, you don't realize that if you are a practicing witch or Wiccan or whoever, you know, and being an artist and being a writer and being, you know, trying to create a business and all this stuff at the same time, you know, it's very hard to keep your space clean all the time. So, you know, I got some crazy chaos going on behind me that you can't see, but I'll get it straightened out, and then when I get that done, I will be sure to take you on a tour around my entire space. And so until then, like I said, I hope you all have a wonderful day and a blessed week, and I'll see you next time. Blessed be.